The lights flickered on, flooding my new house with warmth. But the silence swallowed it whole. No laughter, no footsteps, no family. I had bought my dream home, paid for every brick, every window, every detail with years of sweat and sacrifice. And I had invited them all, parents, siblings, cousins, for a housewarming. My chance to finally stand in front of them as more than the overlooked child. But they didn't come. They went to my brother's new apartment instead. A cramped rental with peeling paint, but he was the golden son. Always has been, always will be. My phone buzzed violently in my pocket. A message from my mother. We need to talk now. Not a sorry we missed it, not a congratulations, just a demand. I almost laughed. I should have expected it. I grew up in their shadows, always measured, always found lacking. Every achievement of mine brushed aside, while my brother's smallest effort was paraded like a triumph. When I graduated top of my class, they skipped the ceremony to help him move. When I landed my first real job, they barely looked up from their dinner plates. When I bought this house, they didn't come. But now they needed to talk. That meant one thing: money. I opened the group chat, scrolled back. My brother's apartment wasn't his alone. He had dragged them into debt again. Credit cards, loans, a mess they thought I would clean up. That's when it clicked. Their absence wasn't neglect, it was calculation. They wanted to remind me where I stood, beneath him. The afterthought, the backup plan, the wallet. But they had miscalculated. I didn't rage, I didn't cry, I planned. Step 1, sever the ties. My accounts had been linked to theirs for years, subtle requests, quiet transfers, loans never repaid. That ended with one meeting at the bank. By morning, every card was canceled, every joint account closed. Step 2, my brother's apartment. I pulled the deed records, the leases. His name was nowhere. It was under a landlord notorious for evicting late payers. A phone call, a few nudges, and suddenly that apartment was no longer a sure thing. Step 3, the family gathering. They wanted to meet? Fine, I chose the place. Neutral, formal, my lawyer at my side. When they arrived, the air was thick with forced smiles. My mother started first, her tone sweet and poisonous. You know your brother's been struggling. We thought maybe you could help with the rent, just until he gets on his feet. I said nothing, just slid a folder across the table. Bank statements, transfers, receipts. Every dollar I had funneled into this family for years. Their faces drained of color as the pages turned. My father shifted uncomfortably. My brother's jaw clenched. My mother stammered, This isn't fair." But I cut her off, calm, precise, no more. My lawyer handed them the second folder, legal notices, binding agreements, proof that I was no longer tied to them financially in any way, that I owed them nothing, that their debts were theirs alone. My brother slammed his hand on the table. "You think you're better than us now?" I leaned back, unflinching. "No, I've always been better. You just never wanted to see it." The silence after that was thick. They realized, one by one, that the lifeline they had counted on was gone. The apartment, the bills, the endless bailout, they would sink or swim on their own. For once, I wasn't the forgotten child. I was the one holding the knife. When I left, I didn't look back. The house I returned to was still quiet, still empty. But it no longer felt like rejection. It felt like victory. Because emptiness can be freedom, and silence can be peace. They thought I'd always be there, waiting for scraps of their affection, desperate for a seat at their table. But I built my own table. And when they chose my brother over me, I finally understood. Family isn't defined by blood. It's defined by respect. They gave me neither, so I gave them nothing. Do I regret it? No. I regret waiting this long to shut the door. They wanted me invisible, so I granted their wish. Now they can live with their chosen son, and the ruin that comes with him. I live here, in my dream house. Alone? Yes, but free.